You are listening to an exclusive interview on Bass Musician Magazine. The interview starts now.
Now, as we speak of voice, I would be remiss if I didn't mention, because everybody's looking at instruments behind you, we need to talk a little bit about gear, what gives you your musical voice, because, obviously not your vocal voice. Tell us a little about your gear.
I'm your typical gear pig, as they say. At one point, I went a little too crazy. A lot of instruments of every kind. Over the last 5 years, I've been really working with a company called Music Vox. Matt Eichen, who runs and owns Music Vox, I'm going to have to give him credit for actually being one of the guys that kept me in music just because of that bass. I bought it off of eBay. I've always wanted one. I'd seen it in some ads, the white one with the big 12 on it. When it came, I said, oh, damn, this is sick. I started playing it, and I started feeling like, wow, I can do some different shit on this. Really saved my musicality, and I will always thank Matt for that. And as the years went by, Matt went down to one of the NAMM shows and he invited me down, and this is where we talked about having a signature 8-string. I had taken one of my 12 strings actually, and I had popped off some of the octaves and turned it into an 8-string, and I said, holy shit, man, I'm really digging this. We put these ideas together, hence I got my signature Momo 8-string bass. It's my second version of it now. One of them's reversed one way, the other one's reversed the other way. Matt is kind enough to let me really employ myself in the direction of the marketing of the Music Vox stuff, which is a great honor. He is truly a fantastic, beautiful kind of guy that you don't usually meet that often. He has a vision, and he does this just because he loves to do this. He really wants to make musicians happy, and has his customer service is second to none. I've got a collection of all kinds of interesting basses as well. I really like short scales. That being said, I think without the 8 and 12, I would have stopped playing bass a long time ago. This thing completely reignited my complete musicality.
Very cool. And in addition to the Music Vox, do you have any other parts of your gear that you feel are essential for achieving your sound or your voice? And it turns into a hard question because obviously you've collected quite a bit of stuff, but if you were to pick this is what my ideal setup to get exactly how I want to sound, what would you be selecting?
Well, that's an amazing question, and you couldn't have asked me that freaking question at a better time. I have the worst backache on earth right now, which is called pedal back. And over the last X amount of days, I have done so many freaking bass tests in every which way but loose that you can imagine, that I can tell you exactly what I've come up with that just ends it fucking all as far as I'm concerned. There's so many great companies out there. I would say one of the most important things is to have some pedals, or, I'm saying pedals because these are portable and affordable as opposed to the big rack stuff, that you would be able to use in a direct recording situation, or be able to add it to your live rig if you're playing live. So it's got to have a multi-usage for me. For me, bar fucking none, I would say it's Dark Glass. I have tried every single pedal. In the beginning, I even tried to hate the company. You understand? I even tried to say, there is no fucking way. Because here in Canada, the difference with the American price difference is quite a shooting haul. So I can tell you that a Dark Glass pedal, you're not getting it for underneath $575 almost 600 by the time you're done with the tax. The BK7 stuff, the Vintage Deluxe, for me, preamp wise, is my favorite thing, bar none. When it comes to other effects like delays, I'm a big Source Audio freak. I gotta tell you, the Nemesis just fucking kills. Also, something that I've discovered over the last little while that I'm a huge fan of, that I consider one of the best clean sounds I've ever heard for recording a bass and a pedal, is the Mesa Boogie Subway DI. I thought for sure, oh, this is going to be some kind of dirty sounding pedal, right? It's the freaking cleanest thing I have in a pedal. Also, the other micro tweaking pedal that I really think is super important for any style of music would be an Exotic Effects RC Booster for bass. I freaking love that thing. Out of control, a total shaping tool on its own. You could use it for many things. You can use it as a boost. You can use it to bring down the input of a loud bass. It totally sparkles up your sound. Compressor wise, I've had a lot of compressors. The easiest one that really sounds killer, it's called the PC2A by Effectrode. It's like an LA 2A with a little missile tube in a box. Fucking slaughters. The other thing I would say, if you're a pick player, I've tried a lot of different picks. V-Picks is not a pick, it's a fucking instrument. Sounds amazing. Changes your life when you do want to play with a pick. And Vinny, he's a master craftsman at what he does. I'm a Morley freak. I got some really fucking old ones, the big silver ones, the fuzz volume power wall over here that I have on bass. It's just so killer. But Cliff Burton, it was part of his whole sound. Universal Audio, also, I'm a big fan of their plugins and their Apollo series. Neumann mics, when you're gonna go record your voice. Cameras, video cams, picture cams, little mini cams, all kinds of cameras, anything to express yourself, laptops, iPads, all that shit works.
There you go. Well, and looking ahead, because there's so much, so many tools in your toolbox between instruments and pedals and picks and all of this. Where do you see yourself going in the future? What have you got kind of in the works? What's your plan?
Well, the future is very interesting because the entertainment business is in the wildest situation it's ever been in right now. So there has never been a better time for reinvention at every level. So musically, I'm going to keep making some really cool bass videos, and I'm going to record, and I'm almost finished doing a solo bass record, which is kind of a lot of my super short demos that I put out that people really like, that are actually turned into full-blown songs. I've got a personal project called Morco with my buddy Marco Vizina on guitar, who is truly the wildest fucking guy I've ever played with. We have a kind of a writing relationship for the last 3 years that is just the most awesome thing I have personally ever experienced. We sit down and we do 3 40-minute jams every single Friday or Thursday or sometimes on Sunday for the last 3 years. And everything is in one take. It is truly probably the best musical thing I have ever been part of technically, especially at this point and this age of my life. So we're going to be working on that. There's videos out there that you can see of us jamming out. And I'm going to be getting into my own brand this year. A lot of people have, they like my taste. They like what Krila's taste is. They like what we do together. I'm going to be coming out with some master classes on particular subjects regarding musicians, productions, how to create, how to manage your creativity. Like, who the fuck speaks about that? Oh my God. Guys, what kind of a studio guy am I that this thing just keeps on falling? And eventually, when this is all done in a couple of years, I'm going to be going in the direction of love, which is, boom, how to live with the person you're with till the end of your freaking days and love every minute of it. I think that at the end of the day, that is the best end result that anybody could hope for. who they're going to be with, what they've accomplished, who they're going to die next to, who's going to take care of them if they're sick, who's going to be their real true friend in what's about to happen as the earth and people evolve right now. We're going into a very, very, very different game. Everything is about to change. I've felt this before in my life, you know what I mean? Where you come to this tipping point of what becomes relevant and what becomes irrelevant. That's why I keep going back to musicians. Musicians, in my opinion, you guys have the freaking most potential. What you guys can do, you could change the world. You just got to understand that goes beyond your instrument. The days where the big teams and having 1,000 people doing shit for you and stuff, it's over. It's about micro teams like it is about micro pedals. You notice how pedals are shrinking. Everything shrink. The same thing is happening with humanity and especially with the entertainment business, guys. So you've never been in a better position to express yourself. And even if you don't express yourself, you got to be happy for other people who are trying to do so. I'm a big believer that when you give back, even if it's being happy for other people, you get back. It's just how it works. We're all about energy and electricity. And trust me, it's beyond a lot of people's true comprehension, especially if they're in pain or things are not working out like they'd like to be. When you talk about some hoodoo jumbo stuff like that, it's really not something you want to grab to and really believe in and say, fuck, well, this ain't going to help me right here, right now. You're wrong, because it's about the long game. It's like building up layers and layers of this luck and this belief and everything that you put in positive energy, and you're going to open up your eyes one day and boom, you're going to have that thing just because you're being positive about it. What can I say? You know, except that you run a fucking awesome bass magazine, and I want to thank you and Valerie for giving me the opportunity to work for you guys in this capacity. I totally believe in what it is you guys are doing. And to all you guys on Bass Musician Magazine who check out this magazine and who have given the magazine great vibes and who have given me great vibes, I thank you really so much for this. Bass, man, bottom end, the foundation, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. Well, Ed, we are very grateful for your contribution. And as you've mentioned, we would be nothing without all of our followers and our loyal readers, listeners, viewers, whatever we call them nowadays, because it's an evolving process. Now, just so people can stay on top of what you've got going on, because they'll see this and then they might down the road go, hey, I wonder what Momo's up to. The best place to look, themomozone.com.
You can go to themomozone.com, or you can also check out what I'm doing on my Facebook pages. There's one called The Momo Zone. The other one where I always put my music videos on in general, it's Michel Laredo, aka Momo. And turn up your bass. Turn up the bass. Don't let your guitar players tell you that the bass is too loud.
Well, Momo, thank you so much for taking time and sharing with us. Folks, you've seen it here. Michel Laredo, Momo, coming to you live on Bass Musician Magazine.
You're on Bass Musician Magazine. Thank you for checking out BassMusicianMagazine.com, the face of bass.